For everybody on that island. Now to connect to the Capitol live here at 5:30. Governor Dan Jaehnig in studio with me right now. We're here to talk a little bit more about SNAP benefit announcement and what his position is regarding cooperation with ICE. Governor, good to see you. Busy day here. Yes. We have the information at the bottom of our screen for those who need to reach out to the SNAP program that you announced this afternoon. Basically $6 million that you found from the state you're putting towards the EBT cards for those who are depending upon it Saturday.
So those dollars are coming from what's called a TANF program, which allows us to put those state dollars into a family program. So we're going to cover all the families with kids with a benefit November 1st and November 15th, which will equal about 50% of what they would receive during the month.
Okay, talk to us a little bit about the going beyond that.
Yes.
I know there's a rainy day fund, and there's a lot of confusion as to when and when you can't use it. If you need to, can you tap into those funds, and how much money is in the rainy day fund?
Well, it's not enough to cover, a month or a couple months, because we have those dollars that are designated in other places. But we are talking to the General Assembly leadership, both the House and the Senate, about activating on the executive order that I put in place today, a state of emergency. This is clearly a state of emergency to have 140,000 people without a food benefit beginning in the month, and we're looking at allocating a portion of that, of those dollars potentially to those who are not being covered by some level of state funding.
Right. In your news conference today, you went after the president, which we usually don't hear you do, and you were very strong in your words. Yes. I know your partner, Governor Healey in Massachusetts, has been very vocal, and she's also taken some repercussions. Money has been cut from her funds. Now he's thinking about suggesting maybe move the World Cup out of Massachusetts. Is that the feeling amongst yourself, is that if you speak out too much against the administration, they came back and cut funds from you?
Well, I think it's really important to speak out when there's a problem, right? Whether there's an issue that has to do with the government shutdown impacting health insurance or government employees or federal employees. On this one, though, this is just a clear line. You have people who are being denied food when the president had the ability to actually fund that on an emergency basis, and he would get those funds would actually get refunded once they start the program up.
Right.
This is all in the president's hand, in my opinion, and you didn't need an end of the shutdown to actually activate those dollars and feed people. You're going to have kids that are going to go hungry.
Yeah.
That's not right.
I think you're right in terms of it's a political issue in some ways, and people here are just getting tired of the back and forth. All they want is what they expect, which is food on the table. But has the Trump White House cut any funding to you or the state?
No, only what's in terms of what is coming our way and coming into the states all around the country. Right?
Okay, we're going to have continuing reporting on the SNAP relief that the governor announced this afternoon with Gabrielle Cracchiolo and online for anybody who needs it. I want to move to ICE. A lot of confusion. We've seen ICE officers in Providence. The city council is taking an ordinance. Where does the state stand right now when it comes to ICE enforcement in the state of Rhode Island?
So our position has been this way before President Trump took his second term and now after. We are going to work with anyone who is looking to take out criminals and violent behavior from our neighborhoods. I think that generally is accepted by everyone. They want safe neighborhoods. We want to work with ICE to do that. We're not going to profile. Which was really serious. That's against our Constitution to profile your family or my family. Right. And I'm not going to profile anyone or participate in a profiling effort if that happens.
What happens if the police, by your order, assist ICE and they don't give, which they haven't really, the due process to the people that they are pulling away? There's been a lot of mistakes, arrests, and stuff like that. So where do you draw the line?
Well, I think that, again, we're protected on due process. So if there's violations on that, we certainly are not going to support that. But we are going to support any law enforcement, including ICE, that is targeting people who are broke the law and create violence in our neighborhoods. We're going to work with them.
Okay. Governor, I know you spoke out today on an issue that has caused a lot of outrage and is trending quite almost every day on our websites, which is the hazing incident in Smithfield. You had 5 high school football players lock up somebody in the bathroom, spray him with Lysol, and call him anti-Semitic names. They were supposed to be suspended for the entire year. Then they're back on the field, and people are just outraged. Are you outraged?
Well, I'm certainly outraged on any anti-Semitic type of behavior that goes on because it's very dangerous and it's not right. And so clearly we've made a statement on that and we continue to make statements on that, Dan.
Do you think that the players should be back in the field or should be suspended for the whole season?
I think they should be disciplined in there, but I'll let the local crew, I don't know enough about the background in terms of what was done and what wasn't done, but clearly the students should be disciplined.
Right. And what would your discipline be if you had a chance? What we're told is that they had one class in Jewish information, and then they were let back in. And people are saying one is not enough after they did that. Would you say suspend them for the season, suspend them for 3 games? What?
Yeah, so I would have to know a little bit more about what happened in there. Clearly, there was an act of that's not acceptable to in any setting, right?
Right.
On a team setting. If players on a team are doing that type of behavior, there should be some sort of consequences right in the format of the sport, and not necessarily just taking classes.
All right, I wanted to talk to you about the Bridge report that was released a while ago. There's oversight hearings coming in. And it goes to show that the problem was there long before you became elected as governor, and now you're dealing with it. But it was also there when the director of the DOT, Alvidi, was running there and should have noticed it. And a lot of people are once again calling for his resignation. What is it that you're hesitant about? A lot of people have lost confidence in him.
Well, I understand that, and it's whether it's right or it's wrong. It's true that there has some confidence there in this issue. Look, we're pursuing the people that I think should be held responsible.
But shouldn't the DOT director be held responsible because he should have noticed the problems years ago?
Well, if you're hiring people in to give you reports and you accept their reports as factual, I got to say that we put the more heavy responsibility on the people we hire to give us the safety reports who had said that it was safe. And we find out after I'm off in office that we were repairing bridges that couldn't be repaired. Right. So I think it's important. I think we're putting the attention where it belongs.
But you think he should stay in his position right now?
At the point, obviously, otherwise he wouldn't be in there.
Okay, and they're holding me right there at that time limit. But always good to see you, and good luck to your grandchild being born in a couple of weeks,
grandson,
right?
A grandson. Yeah, we're very excited about that.
All right, that's good news. We'd love to hear that. Governor, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Dan,